Hi everyone, I'm Sandy and welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to bring you my September reading plans, my very ambitious September plans. I have been planning this quite literally for months because I knew I wanted to do this even at the end of last year when I was selecting my 2023 list for reading for the 1001 book list. I intentionally made some selections specifically for this month. I'm so excited it's here. I feel like I'm ready for this. What am I doing? I am going to be participating in Shorty September for the first time. If you're not familiar with Shorty September, it's hosted by the channel's Past Story Time and Heather at the Soggy Expat Book Nerd. I will leave all of their information in the description below so you can go and check out their announcement videos. They have created prompts and things you can print and just a huge amount of things to help you with the Shorty September kind of challenge. There's no requirement as to the number of pages that would be considered a short book. They very much leave it up to you. For me, it's gonna be 150 pages or below. Now, not every book I have is 150 pages or less. Some books are definitely bigger than that, but I have a 3-day weekend coming up and I have a vacation in September. So in my mind, I feel like I have some time to read some of these. We'll see. Yeah, it's going to be very, very challenging because I'm also going to attempt to do 30 books in 30 days. So, oh boy, 30 books in 30 days sounds very, very intimidating. But like I said, I have been planning this for months. Even so much as in August, I had a 0-book TBR on purpose. I gave myself just a huge break in August and I feel ready to tackle this. I feel excited about picking up some of these books. I feel excited about the project. I feel excited about reducing down some numbers off of my 1001 book countdown. I'm ready. I'm ready. I am ready. I can't wait to share some of these with you. I don't know if I have time to go through all of these books, but I certainly will go through the ones that are on the 2023 list for you. Some are going to be right at the page count that I want, and some are definitely over. The other thing that's important to note is that some of these books, while they may be shorter, I'm a little bit worried about just the intellectual kind of my intellectual capacity to consume some of these because they are some complicated authors and some new to me authors. So I'm a little bit leery, but I'm ready. I'm going to keep saying that. I'm ready. What I also plan to do is a kind of a short every day with the book that I finish in that day. And if I get ahead, I'm still only going to publish one short per day. So that's kind of my plan. I know Heather does like a full vlog every day. There's just no way I have the ability or time to do that. Kudos to Heather. It intimidates me and stresses me out to think about it. More power to her. Very, very impressive. I'm hoping I can do a short a day, and then I'm hoping to do a 1001 book countdown every Saturday with the books that I read for that week for the countdown. Not every book that I'm gonna read in September is on the 1001 book countdown, but I will share the ones that I am going to read with you right now, starting with my 1001 book club pick, which is this one, Wide Star Gossipy by Jean Reese. This one is definitely over the 150 page mark. I recognize that, but I've had this on the book list since last year. And I picked this one because I reread Jane Eyre in July, and this one has a tie to that, meaning I believe it's about the woman who was in the attic, who was a very interesting character in Jane Eyre. So I'm very excited to pick this particular one up. I will leave the book club information in the description below for you as well, so you can go check out my Discord if you would like to join in the read. There's no requirements to the read along. You read it at your own pace. You can talk about it on Discord. Whatever works for you. It is very, very low key. But Wide Star Gossipy is the 1001 book club pick for, what month is it? September, for September. All right, so let's dig into some of the meat here for the 30 books in 30 days. The first one is perfect. It is the 39 Steps by John Beauchamp. This one is under 100 pages. Look at how skinny this is. This is perfect. There's also an adaptation that is available out there on one of the streaming channels for this. So it may accidentally allow me to qualify for one of the prompts for Shorty September. This one is probably the one I'm most excited about reading and probably going to be, spoiler, the one I pick up first. It's supposed to be very detective-y. I kind of think film noir kind of reads. I'm really hoping that's the case because that's what I'm excited about potentially picking up. But that's the first one. Actually, the second one. I'm not going to try and keep count of the numbers. So the next book I have is Ethan Frome by Edith Wharton. And this is right under the 100-page count again. The whole book is a little bit bigger because there's some additional stories in there, but I am going to tackle Ethan Frome, another book I'm really excited about and have wanted to read on the 2023 list. All of these ones that I'm going through right now are on the 2023 list. So another one, I'm just really hoping to see that number just shrink down in the month of September, but Ethan Frome. I have my first Muriel Spark book in the driver's seat. This one is under the 100-page mark, I believe. Let me check. Oh, 110-ish pages. I don't know anything about Muriel Spark. I don't know how complicated of a writer Muriel Spark is. I don't know anything about this particular book, but it certainly meets the length requirements, which was why I added it to my TBR for September. I have Seize the Day by Saul Bellow. I have read a couple of books by Saul Bellow and, were okay, wasn't in love with them, but I'm very interested in picking up this particular one. It clocks in at 110 pages as well, so perfect for the challenge of the 30 books in 30 days. The next book is a bind-up of 3 different books, which is by Samuel Beckett Malloy. Malone Dies and The Unnameable are in this bind-up. These ones are definitely a little bit longer. Are they longer? They are, hold on. Malloy is about 170 pages. Malone Dies is about 110 pages. And then the last one, The Unnameable, is about 115 pages as well. So each one definitely qualifies, but I'm hugely intimidated by this. I've not read any Samuel Beckett. I'm not super enthusiastic about picking up this particular one. I know I have at least one of these books on the 2023 list, but I don't remember which one. So this one is probably the one I'm iffy. I'm definitely iffy about this one, even though lengthwise is pretty close to where I wanted to be. Have you read any Samuel Beckett? Am I getting myself into too much with this one? I'm worried about it. So, but this is the next one. I have a lovely little short one next, which is The Body Artist by Don DeLillo. I have read one book, The Underworld, I believe, by this particular author, which is a chunker of a book. I think it's almost 800 pages. This one is significantly shorter. It clocks in at 126 pages. Not bad. I don't know anything about this particular one, but I did make it through The Underworld, so I'm hoping this one isn't too bad. The Underworld is definitely a little bit more complicated and certainly longer, so, but I have that one. The next one is my first Italo Calvino. Never read it, so intellectually, again, is it going to be too much for this challenge? It may be. We'll see when I dig into it, but the one I'm reading is The Castle of Cross Destinies. What's interesting about this is there's actually 2 books, it looks like, in this. There is The Castle of Cross Destinies and The Tavern of Cross Destinies. The Castle of Cross Destinies is the one that is on the 1001 book list. The entire book is only 120 pages, so I hopefully can just read all of it. The other thing is there is a lot of white space and a lot of visuals on this that make this not quite as big as I think it's going to be, but I'm excited to dig into this one as my first Italo Calvino. Hopefully this is a good place to start. I do have another one on my shelf, which is Invisible Cities, but I think it's longer. And this one is on the 2023 list. So that is the next one. I have a book by Gert Hoffman called The Parable of the Blind, which I believe is based off of a famous painting, which may be this painting on the cover, but I have not investigated that. This is 125 pages as well, right in line with what I wanted to be reading. Excited to pick this one up. I don't know anything about it, and it is a little bit of a small font, so the 125 page mark can be a little bit deceiving with this one. The next one I have is Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. This one is 150. This one is 150 pages, but it is a small book. It is not the size of, let's do it the right way. It is not the size of other paperbacks, so I'm hoping that means it will be a little bit easier to read. I don't know much about this one as well, but I'm excited to pick that one up. Now we're into kind of the books that are probably going to be a little bit too long for the 30 books in 30 days, but I do have them on the 2023 list. If I can make it through them, I'd be ecstatic, but I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. So I have some other books that are shorter, but the ones that I have left on the 2023 list, I have To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. I have a very mixed relationship with Virginia Woolf, bordering on I don't like this writer. So I don't know. We'll see. I would like to get it read, but again, it is also 200 pages, so it's a little bit longer than I really feel comfortable kind of trying to tackle. Definitely more than I could tackle in a day unless it was on a weekend day or on a weekend. So I don't know. We'll see on this particular one. I have Brighton Rock by Graham Greene. This one is also around the 200 page mark, but it is also, again, a small book. It is not a big paperback, so it is a possible. I have The Green Man by Kingsley Amis. That's his name. Kingsley Amis. This one is also at the 240 page mark, but it is a collection of short stories. So it is possible that I could read kind of a short story a day in this one. I don't know. But that's the other one that I have. There's also, I believe, an adaptation about this. Oh, it says right up at the top here, an Amy BBC special starring Albert Finney. So that was an interesting one. The next one that I have is The Awakening by Kate Chopin. This one is a little bit longer at the 165 page mark, but is probably one that I am the most excited about reading. So it's probably going to be closer to the top of the ones that I tackle right away. I do love this cover quite a bit. I have a number of different books now that are by this publisher and just really like the simplicity of this. So I'm excited to pick up that one. The last one on my 2023 list that I'm going to talk about is one that I've kind of already said I'm probably not going to read. I just got it from the library and saw how long it is at over 200 pages. It is The Drowned and the Saved by Primo Levi. I think the 200 pages plus the difficult content might put this one out of reach for me in the month of September. I'm guessing. And I could easily read this for nonfiction November. So I'm kind of like almost tempted just to say probably not going to happen. Those are the 1,001 books that are on the 2023 list. Now, a couple of other books that I have one group read scheduled, which is for The Sword of Kaigen, which is not a shorty book. It is a chunk of a book, but I'm hoping to fit in just a number of pages per day. And then in the end, it will count as one of the books that I finish, but it's not a short book. For my subscriber favorite project, I'm going to be tackling this one, The Secret Lives of Church Ladies. This one was a recommendation by my subscriber, Jacqueline McMiniman. Thank you so much for that. I'm really looking forward to this one. It is about 176 pages, so it's a little bit longer than I kind of want on my list, but I'm going to tackle it. This is going to be the one that I'm going to tackle for the subscriber favorites. It is the shortest one I have on my subscriber favorites, so if I want to keep doing that particular project, I need to tackle it. So the other project I have, which is my Discover New Author, I don't have a short one. I don't have any short ones at all on that one. The one I'm most interested in reading is probably this one, Life After Life by Kate Atkinson, but it's not short. So I don't know. We'll see. We're going to play this one by ear and see how the month goes. Maybe while I'm on vacation, it might be a good one to read on the plane. Maybe. So those are my top picks for the 1,001 book countdown. Now I will say that I have a number of other books that are not on the countdown. I have this one, A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf, which is a nonfiction at 112 as a possibility. I have a graphic novel, which maybe I might read Mouse. I think that would be a good one to kind of throw in there as an easier read and one I've wanted to read for a long time. I also have a play. I have The Crucible by Arthur Miller. So some different formats in there. This one is, again, pretty short at 130 something pages, and I'm hoping the play format will be a fairly easy read as well. But again, intellectually, don't know about this particular one. So that's the bulk of it. Now, I also have a number of other shorter books that are on the 1,001 book countdown, but not on the 2023 list. I'm just trying to compile a large number of possibilities. So one of the things that I had heard about with people who have done this is to have a wide selection of books readily available that you can pull from. And I certainly have that because I also have Billy Budd by Herman Melville. I have The Sorrows of Young Werther. This one, while short, nice and slim volume by Goethe, is probably going to be out of my intellectual ability to consume in this challenge, but I do have it. I also have The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie by Muriel Sparks. So if the driver's seat goes well, I may pick up this one. I have Kitchen by Banana Yashimoto, and this one actually has two different books in it, so it is very short. Possible, very, very possible. The next one I have is The River Between. I think this one, again, is deceiving. This is not a very long book, but I have a feeling the content is going to be very difficult, and I'm not sure about the translation as well. So this is another one that's going to be put on the pile of maybes. I have A Pale View of the Hills by Kazuo Ishiguro. I read a number of books by Ishiguro and do like them, but I don't know. We'll see. The other one, I have this one, The Death of Ivan Ilyich by Tolstoy. Is Tolstoy a good choice for a shorty September? I don't know. It's 120 something pages. I have read War and Peace and actually really liked it. Is this going to be consumable? I don't know. I don't know. I have The Return of the Soldier by Rebecca West. I am so interested in this particular book. I love, it is under 100 pages. This one, I'm pretty sure is going to get included in the Shorty September actual reads, and it just isn't on the 2023 list. I have Blind Owl as well. This is a book by an Iranian writer, which I'm very excited to particularly pick up. Look at those eyes in the background of that flower. Oh, so cool. So I have that one. I have Waiting for the Barbarians by Coetzee. If you follow my channel, you may know I don't like Coetzee very much, but I'm excited about potentially picking up this one. It's one of the last ones I have by this author to read. I have this one, The House in the Uplands by Erskine Caldwell, and this one is a tiny little paperback. I don't know why it came in this little plastic sleeve, but I've kept it in it. I also have Couples Passerby by Botho Strauss, and I have The Third Man by Graham Greene, which are also possibles in there. So lots and lots of options. I don't know. I know I won't be able to read all of these. Clearly, I won't be able to read all of these, but I hope I have a good enough selection to allow me to kind of just pick and choose what I want to read and attempt this 30 books in 30 days. Woohoo! I am excited. I am excited about the options. I'm excited about the books I have to potentially pick up. I'm very excited to pick up the first ones. I am happy to be trying this challenge, and yeah, wish me luck. Is there a book in here you think I should start with? Now that I have all these books out on my desk, really curious. Is there one that you saw that you said, wow, you should read that one first? I would love to know that. Please leave me a comment down below. Even if you don't leave an actual comment, definitely you can leave me an emoji. Leave me a book emoji. Why not? And as always, like, comment, and subscribe, and wish me luck on this one. All right, thanks. Bye.